Within the Imperium of Man, there exist many powerful and often shadowy organizations. But one group in particular is so shrouded in secrecy that it is said that not even the Emperor himself knows of its existence. That organization is known as the Illuminati. The Illuminati, also known as the Cult of the Illuminated, are a secret society dedicated to the safeguarding of mankind against the corrupting influence of the ruinous powers. In order to accomplish this task, the Illuminati seeks to manipulate and subtly influence certain events in order to bring about the rebirth of the Emperor of Mankind. The Illuminati have come to the realization that the Emperor's indomitable will is beginning to falter, and that his Gestalt psyche, formed by the coalescing souls of the ancient Terran shamans, is beginning to fracture. The organization believes that it is inevitable that the Emperor will irreversibly deteriorate, both physically and mentally, and without the Emperor to stand against it, mankind is destined to fall to chaos. Because of their mission to protect humanity from the forces of chaos, the Illuminati have become closely allied with the Eldari, in particular those of the Harlequin sect, due to both factions sharing a common enemy. This in turn has led to the Cult of the Illuminated becoming the sole human organization that is given free rein to access the legendary Black Library of Chaos, a craft world that serves as the Eldari's greatest repository of knowledge in regards to the powers of the warp. The Black Library has not only granted members of the Illuminati an insight into the nature of chaos that few can only dream of, but also the truth regarding the fall of the ancient Eldari Empire, which came about as a result of the birth of the Chaos god Slaanesh, which forced the Eldari to the brink of extinction. Armed with this knowledge, the Illuminati seek to prevent a similar fate from befalling mankind. When High Inquisitor Bronislav Chevak of the Ordo Xenos was himself a prisoner of the Black Library's guardian scribes, he would, after several years of captivity, encounter a strange man outside of his cell, one who did not appear to be a fellow Inquisitor. The High Inquisitor would then begin to wonder what sort of organization this stranger belonged to, as detailed with the following passage from the novel Atlas Infernal, alluding to the possibility that Chevak might have encountered a member of the Illuminati or a similar such organization.
He once even saw a human, a gunmetal, grey-haired member of some Illuminati or Xenos sect, entrusted, like the Inquisitor had been, with the craft world's secrets. As the two men looked at one another, the ponytailed visitor gave what the aged Chevak assumed to be grim pity with his spiky, furrowed brows and steely eyes. That was the day Chevak started talking the lunacy of escape.
Of all the various Imperial organizations that exist, only two seem to know of the Illuminati's existence: the Adeptus Astartes and the Inquisition, both of whom viewing the Illuminati as little more than dangerous heretics. The Ordo Malleus in particular believes that the Illuminati and their schemes are in fact influenced by the ruinous powers, and because of this, many within the Inquisition have become devoted to wiping out the Illuminati. However, the Illuminati themselves have managed to infiltrate many branches of imperial government, from the Adeptus Administratum to the Ecclesiarchy, the Inquisition, and even the Adeptus Mechanicus. Despite being believed by the Adeptus Custodes to have been wiped out millennia ago, the Cult of the Illuminated would once again make their presence known following the creation of the Cicatrix Maledictum. Given that the Illuminati have managed to spread their influence throughout Imperial society, is it feasible to assume that this shadowy organization has obtained control over a particular branch of the Imperial military machine, such as a chapter of the Adeptus Astartes, to aid in their mission? Potentially, yes. The Illuminati take their name from the fact that every individual inducted into the organization becomes illuminated by undergoing the experience of demonic possession. Once a demon has taken control of their body, the inductee will then proceed to exorcise the demon using nothing more than their sheer force of will. Most of the time, inductees will fail in this ritual and either perish or become little more than demon hosts that serve as enforcers to those who have been illuminated. However, those who survive gain an intimate knowledge of chaos, its temptations, and its secrets, and as a result have become immune to its corrupting influence. This exact initiation ritual is said to also be performed by one particular chapter of the Adeptus Astartes, the Exorcists. The Exorcists are a chapter that were created for the purpose of combating against demonic entities, in a similar manner to their parent chapter, the Grey Knights. While there are few records remaining regarding the chapter's founding, it is documented that members of the ecclesiarchy were seconded to the Ordo Malleus branch of the Inquisition in order to lend their assistance towards the founding of the Exorcists, possibly in regards to measuring the Astartes' spiritual purity. Unlike the majority of Space Marine chapters, the Exorcists maintain 2 scout companies instead of the traditional one, due to the number of neophytes inducted into the chapter exceeding that of other chapters. Because of the chapter's initiation rituals, a much higher influx of recruits is needed due to a high mortality rate. While much of the chapter's recruitment process is kept secret from most, it is said that the Battle Brothers of the chapter allow themselves to undergo demonic possession before expelling the entity from their bodies in order to render themselves not only immune to chaotic influence, but also render their soul invisible to lesser demonic entities. This is supported within the novel Death of Antagonists, with the following excerpt, where the renegade ecclesiarch Cardinal Nisum details his involvement regarding the creation of the chapter.
He had been a loyal slave to the Emperor then, and a participant in the project that led to the founding of the Exorcists. That Adeptus Astartes chapter was legendary for its incorruptibility. Rumors said that each had a demon bound within his flesh as part of their initiation, making them immune to any further possession. Nessun had no quarrel with the accuracy of the legend, but he would, if asked, add a small amendment. The immune were those who had been successfully initiated.
A number of these Exorcist Marines, who failed or otherwise refused to expunge the demonic entities possessing them, would follow the Cardinal into damnation, eventually forming a Chaos Space Marine warband known as the Swords of Epiphany. As we can see, the initiation rituals of the Exorcist chapter do share an uncanny similarity to those undertaken by the members of the Illuminati. Since the Illuminati have infiltrated the ranks of many other imperial organizations, including the Inquisition and the Ecclesiarchy, with these 2 branches in particular being involved in the creation of the Exorcists themselves, then it's certainly a distinct possibility that the Illuminati could have had a potential hand in the chapter's creation. But if this were indeed the case, then for what reason would the Illuminati have to establish a Space Marine chapter that would, presumably, be under their direct control? The most likely reason would be for the purpose of aiding the organization in their ongoing mission to bring about the Emperor's rebirth. The primary method in which the Illuminati seek to bring about the rebirth of the Emperor is tied directly to the individuals known as the Sensei. The Sensei are rare and powerful beings who are direct descendants of the Emperor himself, and are said to be the children that were sired by the Master of Mankind over the course of his long life. Not only are many of the Sensei powerful psychers, but somewhat uniquely, their very presence and lack of emotion generates an area of calm within the warp, which in turn renders them completely invisible to most demonic entities, even when wielding their formidable psychic talents. The reason behind the Illuminati's hunt for the Sensei is to sacrifice their souls to the Emperor at the moment his body and mind finally breaks. If the ritual is performed correctly, then in theory, the Emperor will become reborn as a great and glorious being known as the Sensei Emperor, who would then be able to lead humanity into a new and glorious golden age. The Inquisition views the Sensei as dangerous mutants and heretics that pose a great threat to the security of the Imperium, and as a result seek to outright exterminate them like common vermin. The Illuminati have been actively hunting the Sensei for centuries, if not millennia, in order to accomplish their mission, although they have been documented as seeking out other beings of similar such power in order to accomplish this goal. Within the novella Auric Gods, a member of the Illuminati known as Swan would seek to bring about the Emperor's resurrection by sacrificing not one of the Sensei, but a descendant of Malkador the Sigillite, using an ancient device known as the Vexen Cage upon the world of Kobor. However, Orn's scheme would be foiled thanks to the actions of the Adeptus Astartes and an Imperial peacekeeper named Ursula Ged. Since the Illuminati are attempting to gather together the remaining Sensei in order to bring about the Emperor's rebirth, then utilizing a Space Marine chapter to protect these individuals from the persecution of the Inquisition, or to aid in their recovery, would make a degree of logical sense. The Exorcists, in this regard, could potentially act in a similar manner to the Astartes known as the Unforgiven, a group which is comprised of the Dark Angels and their successor chapters. The Unforgiven have their own secret mission that is kept hidden from the rest of the Imperium, the Hunt for the Fallen, members of the original Dark Angels Legion that turned traitor during the events of the Horus Heresy. In somewhat of a similar manner to the Unforgiven, the Exorcists themselves could behave as a typical Space Marine chapter before altering their mission objectives should one of the Sensei be located. But if this were truly the case, then being affiliated with such a powerful and secretive organization such as the Illuminati would ultimately risk the Exorcists as being declared as excommunicate traitoris, due to not only associating with a group which operates outside the bounds of Imperial law, but by actively harboring so-called Sons of the Emperor. While most of the Sensei are said to have already been wiped out, there does exist a small number that, to this day, remain unaccounted for. Perhaps one day, the Illuminati may finally succeed in their mission, thanks to the aid of the Exorcists. What do you think? Leave a comment below, and thanks for watching.